All right, well, here we go. Episode 1 of our Shatterpoint series. We're going to be doing a lot of this. And again, I apologize for being off again, on again. It has been extremely tough with the stream on the network app with Pokemon and all types of cards. If you're interested in that, check out my Instagram, nerd.nights, and you can see what we're doing over there. We're doing all types of card rips from all different types of cards, including Star Wars. First off, I always want to thank my YouTube members. Thank you so much for all of your donations. You guys are amazing. I'm going to try and continue to keep this going as long as I can, which is forever. I'm never going to quit. So you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. But without further ado, let's go. All right, we are going to start by doing some zenithal highlighting. I did a spray paint with all gray, Mechanicus standard gray, and then Corax white from above just to give it some zenithal highlighting. I did this off camera. I didn't really want to waste time doing it. Once you're satisfied with your zenithal highlighting, we're going to take some skeleton horde, which is a contrast paint. We're going to put it all over these miniatures. Now we got to do 2 sets of these, and I hated with a capital H building this specific miniature. It was so tiny, so small, I couldn't stand it. I didn't like it. It was just annoying as all crap. Just terrible. But take your skeleton horde. Do not let it pool in the big areas, but this is an easy way to make battle droids because this is a perfect color match almost. And we're going to spruce it up towards the end, so don't worry about it. And this is what it should look like with some of that gray and white sticking out. Next, we're going to take another contrast paint, and it's a Black Legion, and we're going to paint those blasters. Again, we're going to spruce this up in a little bit, so have a little bit of a leap of faith, a little bit of trust in me, and we'll continue on. Next, we're going to take some Khorne Red, which is a base color from Citadel, and we're going to paint on the red areas or the red markings on our battle droids. Now, this is a free hand, so try and do your best on this. They all have the same type of patterns on all of them, so just take your time on this and don't rush it. Next, we're going to take some World Bearers Red, and we're just going to kind of dull it down just a little bit. You can use Tuscarora fur on this as well, but we're just going to kind of make it a little bit of a lighter red before our highlight we're going to do here in a little bit to spruce it up finally, or the final print on it. For some of our cracks and crevices, we're going to use a little bit of Aggaros Dunes. Now, you don't really need to do this. I kind of like the battle droid look as is with the gray underneath and then the skeleton horde. But I put some in the cracks and crevices here and there, kind of dry brushed on a little bit just to give it that weathered and dirty look. We're going to take some black Templar. We're going to paint in a little bit of our eyes and a little bit of, again, our crevices and edges of our battle droid. Less is more in this. If you get too much, just smudge it off. You're not going to ruin it. Again, it's a battle droid. It's supposed to look worn down, beat up, and it's been in, well, battle. So take your time on this, but don't go overboard with this. Just, again, adding different colors to make it look a little bit nicer. And if you're feeling saucy, take some of that Wild Rider Red and put a little bit on the shoulder pads and a little bit on the back ear portions of our battle droids. Now for a little bit of an added effect, I wanted to put some blaster marks on our battle droids like they've been hit and wounded in combat, even though they probably can't, they just get blown up. So we're going to take some Abaddon Black, we're going to make a little bit of base for our blaster area. Follow that up by having a little bit of white, just pure white, whatever kind of pure white you have. Put a little bit of dot. Don't cover up all the black area, just put a nice little chunk of that black area in there. Followed by some Trollslayer Orange, or whatever orange you have. That makes it look like it got shot in battle, and it just makes it look a little bit cool in my eyes. Now for our final highlight on the battle droids, before we do the bases, take a dry brush and get 99.9% of that stuff off of there. We're going to take Necron Compound, but we're going to do a very, very light dry brush on these battle droids all over them. But again, get all of that paint except for 0.1% of it off and just go over it very, very lightly, and that brings it all together, in my opinion. Alright, depending on what kind of bases you put on yours, I put the first one, I just maxed the box art, and we did some Skrag Brown for the desert area. And we're going to take some Aggaros Dunes and put on all the cracks and crevices and around the rocks. Again, don't worry about getting it too much everywhere. We're going to do some dry brushing here in a minute, so it's going to all kind of smooth together anyway. Next, we're going to use some Deathclaw Brown as a dry brush, and again, just brush this everywhere into it. Don't hesitate, just get it all in there. It's a desert area, it's going to look a little bit weird. And for our final highlight, we're going to use some Zamesi Desert, and again, just put this all over the place. Even if you want to get a little bit on the bottom soles of the battle droids, it's completely fine. They're in the desert, they're walking around, they don't got shoes, they don't got boots on. So make it look like it. For the space, I don't know what this is. Base, I guess you could say. We're going to use Mechanicus Standard Grey on our first layer of the base. To fill in our cracks and crevices, we're going to use some Basilicanum Grey. Followed by a dry brush of Dawnstone, just all over the place. And for a final highlight of a dry brush, we're going to use some Administratum Grey. And again, if you get too much in one location, just take your finger and brush it off again. It's a spaceship floor looking area. It's not supposed to look perfect. It's not supposed to look flawless. It's supposed to look like it's scuffed up, destroyed, whatever you want. So it'll look just fine. And finally, your favorite part of painting the miniature of the base, because that means we're done. We're going to use Abaddon Black along the edges. You don't have to paint that first area, but then I did, and then all of the rim as well. And that is it. Pretty simple, nothing too crazy. That's going to be episode 1 of our Star Wars Shatterpoint. This is a little bit easier version than some of the other versions I may have seen out there. So pretty easy. I want to say thank you for everybody who's watching this video and who supports this channel and who subscribes. Thank you guys, you're so amazing. Whatever you want to see, leave me a comment in the comments and we'll try and knock it out for Star Wars or whatever else you want to see. Alright, I love you all and paint on.